All right, so here we are. I'm on the second floor, kind of getting an overview, and Phil filled me in. And these are the competition spaces. Those are the areas for testing. There's one back there, and one over there. And they have tables for and the person announcing, crazy enough, was my student freshman year, Evert, right there. And he's hosting the whole event. So it's pretty cool. And then I've got students that borrowed cameras and for both video and photography to capture this event. Pretty neat stuff. So they're out here shooting, but I just don't see them right now. When I see them, I will point them out and get video. Good times.
Yeah, this event is a year in the making every single year. So we host the annual Aggieland Classic here in Aggieland. This is our 4th year doing it and our 2nd year on campus. This year, we invited 45 teams from all over the state of Texas to come and compete for a bid to the state championship. As you can see here, we have some major awards such as the Excellence Award, Tournament Champions, and then we have Robot Skills and Design Award. All these awards really commend teams for showcasing their engineering skills and working in a team collaborative environment and being able to showcase that in a competitive environment. That being said, you know, us as an organization at Texas A&M, a student organization, Aggie Robotics, we compete in the university level of this competition, and we have since 2019. And just as much as we love competing and, you know, going to a state championship and world championship and, you know, winning all these accolades, we just as much appreciate this because a lot of us also benefited from competitions and programs like this, and it was on the backs of volunteers who carried that exact service forward. So that being said, you know, when you have an organization of over 50, 60 members, and all of them are pretty familiar with the robotics competition layout, you can put on a really awesome event like this, and it absolutely takes a village. That being said, you know, we had over 40 volunteers here last night from 5 to 11 p.m. setting up everything that you see here, from the tables, the bleachers, the fields, the electronics. It really does take a village. And like I said, it's a year in the making. So as soon as we get done with this competition, we're already thinking about what we're doing next year. What went good, what went bad, how can we make it better, and really just the best environment for everybody coming and visiting Texas A&M to be part of this Aggie Robotics program.
Dang. And I taught you somehow,
yes.
some way.
Yes, Joey Lopez taught me in Communications 205, technical communication, or
when was
communications for technical professionals. I think that was 2 summers ago or 3 summers ago. And honestly, that's probably my favorite class that I've ever taken at Texas A&M. And no, I'm very serious.
I thought it was the oil change class we took.
No, that was the next summer, I think. But yeah, Joey taught me for Communications for Technical Professionals. I believe that's Comms 205.
Yeah.
I did a summer session with him. I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks. And honestly, it showed me a lot about bridging the gap between social skills and being able to communicate across barriers, right? So for us, for example, we're STEM students at Texas A&M. We work on these robots every single week. Of course, it's going to make sense to us. However, for educators and especially students, when they go to these competitions throughout the year, a lot of the time it's at a local high school, maybe a local event center. They very, very rarely, especially in the Texas region, actually get to come out to a university, especially a tier 1 university like Texas A&M, and not only see what the students here are doing at the collegiate level of their competition in outreach, but also just actually being here on campus in Aggieland. Me personally, I'm a first generation Fighting Texas Aggie, and I had never been to Texas A&M before I got here. I immediately fell in love with the school, and I can only imagine the impact that we are making on all of these students for their opportunity. A lot of these students have probably never been on a college campus before. And so to be able to put on an event like this and really go all bells and whistles, it's not possible without the support of our sponsors, right? So we have the Student Engineers Council. They give us a grant every year to be able to host this event, along with the Good Bull Fund. Those are both Texas A&M sponsored programs. And from there, we also like to bring in industry sponsors to be able to bridge that gap as well, right? Because a student, especially at the K-12 level, maybe they're thinking about college. They're not really thinking about what their career outlook is. So being able to bring in both industry and faculty and collegiate sponsors like Texas A&M, Williams Energy, Phillips 66, Axelbox, product engineering, all of these industries really believe in our mission, not just to compete and be able to showcase our own engineering and STEM abilities, but being able to start that foundation for the next generation of Aggie engineers.
I'm just gonna say, I think that's one of the best extemporaneous speeches I've heard in a while as a speech teacher, and I'm glad that I was the one that taught him, because
I got an A in Joey's class.
he did get an A in the class, and I think that's an A speech right there. So there you go.